Throughout time, I've had several people discourage me from, saying too much about it, because it just dredge up old memories. I don't think there's anything that is sadder than a young girl dying.
What was it like growing up in Marble Falls in the 1960s?
For me, you couldn't have asked for a better place to be. It was still rural for the most part.
How many people were you going to school with?
I think there were around 60 in our class.
You were in the same grade as Danon Lewis.
We were in the 8th grade. This is a picture of Danon. This is a picture of me. We're both named Lewis, so naturally we would come close together. She was just a pretty girl, blonde hair, yeah, long blonde hair. She's kind of stayed in the background. She was just maybe on the shy side, if nothing else. It was the way I remember her. There were several of my classmates that lived within a few blocks of her.
As I remember that area of town, back then it was extremely woodsy. Basically one route back over to this side of town because of Backbone Creek. It was just open to be explored.
It was an innocent time.
What do you mean by that?
Well, being in the rural area, we just weren't exposed to things that you would living in the city.
This hill country town, an hour northwest of Boston, where 13-year-old Lenice Danon Lewis and her classmates grew up, was a much different place than the Marble Falls of today. In 1965, the population barely peaked 2,000. There was no police department here, no medical examiner within 100 miles.
The county sheriff mostly handled what little crime there was, and when someone died, it fell to the local justice of the peace.
This incident happened in November. It just always was a story that haunted all of us. She had gone home and mixed up a cake and put it in the oven for them to have that night for dinner. And then she started mopping the kitchen. And then all of a sudden, then she disappeared. The cake still in the oven burned by the time I guess somebody got there. And that's kind of what tipped them off that she was missing. And then a few hours later, she was found in a small shed behind the house, hanging. It wasn't the norm for Marble Falls to have an 8th grade girl die or be murdered. It was a real shock to all of us. It wouldn't take very much of an investigator to figure that out, that something doesn't smell right about the whole thing.